Good morning, everyone. A good Nara Shabbos. We are learning the 10th Perek of Nedarim and finishing Nedarim on Sunday. And we're starting Nazir on Monday, Mr. Hashem. You get that kind of last start. We're starting Nazir just on the last day before we shave off all our beards. So, Baruch Hashem, I'm not a Nazir. Don't plan on being one anytime soon. Okay, today's share is the Eli Nishmas Our Nachum and Simchat Kohen Yeshua Baruch Hashem So Baruch Hashem Shmuel Leib and B'Nov and Moshe Ben Yosef. May Hashem shall have an Aliyah and Fush Leimi Yisrael Ben Rachel Leah, Rachel Bas Pesel Zelda, Rachel Eliana Bas Yal Bracha, Avram Yitzchak Marisha, Chai Bas Tababela, Fush Leimi Besok Shachal Yisrael, and Shefer Bracha Bas Lachet, Tzvi Noach Ben Bracha Rachel Leah, and the Zivir Bekarov for Shmuel David Ben Hinda Miriam. And a special shout out to our sponsor, Seder Nashim, the Imperial Advisory Group. If you need help with your CFO stuff for your companies, please reach out to them at imperialgrp.com. Okay. Happy Pesach Sheni. Always another chance. Let's go. Talking about canceling the Nedarim today. There's a difference between hafara and hatara. Hafara is an annulment. Hafara is canceling the neder, and hatara is an annulment. We're going to go through all those things now. So, starting off, Nara, Perek Yud Mishnah Aleph, Nara Hamurasa. And the halacha regarding a betrothed Nara. Nara, again, is a girl who is between 12 and 12 and a half. At 12, she's a katana. 12 and 12 and a half, she's a Nara. 12 and a half and up, she's a bogeres. So a Nara Morasa, Avia Ubala Mafirin Nadareha. Her father and her betrothed husband, the Arus, cancel her Nedarim together. Hefer Av Lo Hefer Abal. If the father canceled her Neder, but the husband did not cancel it, because he didn't hear about it, or Hefer Abal Lo Hefer Ha'av. Or the husband canceled it, but the father did not cancel it. Eila Mufer. It is not canceled. Because since a Nara who's betrothed is not fully in her father's domain, but it's also not yet fully in her husband's domain, and her neder is canceled only if both her father and her husband cancel it. It goes without saying that if one of them approved the neder, it is not canceled, even if the other one canceled it. Okay, Mishnah Beis. Mesa, if the father of the Nara Barasa died, Lo Nisrokna Rishus Labal, his share of control over her Nedarim is not transferred to the father's share of control over her Nedarim is not transferred to the husband, because the husband cannot cancel her Nedarim by herself because they're still engaged. They're not married yet. Excuse me. However, if the husband died, his share of control is transferred to the father. The father could cancel her Nedarim by himself. In this matter, the power of the father is greater than the power of the betrothed husband. But in another matter of the Nedarim, the power of the betrothed husband is greater than the power of the father. They each have different powers that the other one doesn't have. Why? Shahabal mefer beveger, but Shahabal mefer beveger, because the betrothed husband can sometimes cancel his Arus's Nedarim while she is fully an adult, meaning she's over 12 and a half. In the particular case, we're going to learn in a couple of Mishnayos from them. In Mishnah Hey. But a father cannot even cancel his daughter's Nedarim when she is a full adult over 12 and a half. Excuse me. I thought it a little crazy too. Okay. Mishnah Gimel. Najra v'hiarusa. If a Nara made a neder while she was betrothed and her father heard about it, this Garshaba Yom, she got divorced on that very day that her father had heard about it. This Arsababa Yom, and she then was betrothed to a second man on the same day. She got divorced from the Erisin and she got engaged on the same day. I feel the mayor, even if she became betrothed to 100 men after one after the other on that day. Avia Ubala Hakaron the law is that her father and the last betrothed husband, together they cancel her nadar, even those that she made while she was betrothed to the first man. Now, mind you, this is a an engagement to. This is just an engagement. If obviously, what if she's really divorced from the suit, and then she has to hold, then she can't get engaged for 90 days. But here she was only engaged. She never actually lived with the guy, and therefore there's no chashash that she's pregnant, and therefore this can go on and on and on, even 100 times on the same day. I mean, that's a little crazy to be um, that sort of case, but like that's the mission. You gotta learn Torah. Okay, Ze'akla. This is the rule for a woman who was divorced several times. As long as she had never left her father's domain and come into her own domain for even one moment. Avia ubala ha'acharon mefira nidareha. Her father and her latest betrothed husband cancel her nadarim together. Since she had never left her father's domain, her divorce leaves her completely in his domain as she had been before she was betrothed. When she's betrothed by another man, that man shares control with her father. Okay, Mr. Dalit. Derech Tamil Chachamim, the custom of Tamil Chachamim, Ashlo Haisa Bita Yatsa Me'esla. Just before his daughter leaves him to become fully married, to Nisuin, Omerla, he says to call Nadar Shadar to Bisaf Basi Hare Hey Mufara. Any of the Nadar that you made in my home are hereby canceled. Since after her Nisuin, the father no longer controls her Nadarim, so he cancels them now while he still can. Similarly, the husband, just before she enters his domain through Nisuin, Omerla, he says to her, call on the Darish and Adarta, Ad Shalot Tiknisi the Shusi Hare Hey Mufara. Any Nedarim that you made before entering my domain are hereby canceled. You must say this before Nisuim because once she enters his domain, they're fully married, he will not be able to cancel any Nedarim she made beforehand. If the husband and the father do not jointly cancel her Nedarim now, before the chuppah, then those Nedarim can never be canceled. Accordingly, they cancel her Nedarim together by making these statements to ensure that she will not sin by violating any Nedarim that she might have made. I don't know if anyone does this nowadays. I never heard that anyone doing this like this amount of zeb. Interesting question why we don't do that. I guess if they're over 12 and a half, then it's not in the father's jurisdiction anyways. I don't know. Interesting question. Mishnah Hey. If a betrothed Bogeres has already waited 12 months for her nisuin, or if she's a widow and she has waited 30 days, and then the Aros delays the nisuin further. If there's a Romer, Lezer says, since at this point her husband in the Aros becomes responsible for providing her food as though they were fully married, Yafer, he can cancel her nadar. Remember the Chachamim say Ein habal mefer, that husband cannot ever cancel his wife's Nedarim alone. Ashet tikanas Rishusa, until she enters his domain by becoming fully married. Okay. Now we're going to go back to talk a little bit about the Yavam, the Mishnah Vav. Shomer's Yavam. If a Nara is waiting for Yavam to perform either Yibum or Chalitza with her, Bein Yavam Echad, whether she is waiting for one Yavam, meaning that her husband left only one brother, or Bein the Shnei Yavamim, or for two Yavams that mean that her husband left two brothers. Lezer says in either case, if a brother performed Maimah with her, Yafer, so he could cancel her Nedarim together with her father, since she is like a betrothed Nara. But before Maimah, though, her bond with the brother is not strong enough to allow him to cancel her Nedarim. Rabbi Yeshua says, regardless of whether Maimah was performed, the Echad, if she is waiting for one Yavam, he can cancel her Nedarim on his own, since his bond with her is as strong as that of a full husband. But if she is waiting for two Yavams, they may not cancel her Nedarim, since we do not know which of them will eventually perform Yibum or Chalitza with her. It is not known which one has the right to cancel her Nedarim, therefore they do so. Rabbi Akiva says the Yivam's Nedarim can never be canceled. Neither she is waiting for one Yavam, nor she is waiting for two, because the Yavam's bond with her, even after Maimar, is not strong enough to allow him to cancel her Nedarim. Amar Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Lezer said, Ma in Isha Shekana Hula Atzmo. Now for regular women who a man acquired for himself through betrothal and had no bond with her before, Hare who may from the Dereha. The law is that after the betrothal, he can cancel her Nedarim together with her father. Isha shehikna lemina shemayim. Then for a woman who is given to a man from heaven, meaning the Yibum, and is therefore automatically bound to him, if you then betroth her through Maimar, Eino din shiyafir nedareh. Does it not make sense that he can cancel her Nedarim together with her father? You should do it at the same time. Rabbi Akiva said to Eliezer, "Lo, your argument is not correct. If you say that a man canceled the Nedarim of a woman he acquired for himself, maybe that is because before the betrothal she was someone in whom others have no rights. I mean, she's a single woman, therefore the bond created by the betrothal is the only bond she has. But will you say that a man can cancel the Nedarim of a woman who was given to him by Shemayim, meaning that a woman who fell to him for Yibum, with whom he then performed Ma'amer, in whom others do have rights with the widow, not just the one who performed Ma'amer with her. Yeshua said to Akiva, your words are correct in a case where there are two Yavams, since the Yavam has bound both of them, that her connection to the Yavam who perform Ma'amer is weaker than the one of an Arusa to her Arus. As you argued, but what do you say? What do you respond about a case where there's only one Yavam? He's the only person who has a bond with the Yavama, and the bond between them is stronger than that of a regular betrothed couple, since the Yavam's bond came from Shemayim, while ordinary Aris created the bond with the Rusa on his own. Therefore, you must surely agree that when there is only one Yavam, you can cancel the Yavama's Nedarim as I have ruled. Amallah, Rabbi Akiva said to Yeshua, Ein HaYavama Gemurah the Yavam. The Yavam is not completely connected to the Yavam. Shem Sharusa Gemurah the Isha, and the way that an Arusa is completely connected to an Arus. So if a stranger cohabits with an Arusa, he has then he had to be with a married woman that's put to death. However, if someone other than a Yavam has bia with the Yibum, he's not put to death. Because he gets Malchus. Clearly, then the bond between the Yavam and the Yavam is not as strong as a betrothed couple. That therefore, even an Aris can cancel his Aris in Nedarim, but Yavam cannot cancel his Yavam as Nedarim. Zion. Sorry for the background noise. There's another shiur going on. This started a few minutes ago. On the darn that you make from the time I leave here until I come back from such and such a place are hereby approved. Lo Amar Klum, he has said nothing. His approval is ineffective because we assume that he did not really mean it. Therefore, if she makes any Nedarim while he is away, he can still cancel them on the day he hears about them. Hare hey mufarin. However, if he says on the Nedarim that you will make while I'm away are hereby canceled. It says mufar. Any neder she makes while he is away is canceled. Since the husband generally does not want his wife to make Nedarim, we assume that he truly meant to cancel them. The Chachamim say, in a mufar, if she makes a neder, it is not canceled. Because even if he meant to cancel a Nedarim, he cannot do so before she makes them. Amr Belezer said, if a husband is able to cancel a darim that his wife has made, which have already become asur, shall he not be able to cancel the darim that she has not yet made, which have not yet become asur? Surely the darim that have not yet taken effect are weaker and less easier to cancel. Amrulo, the Chavim said to Eliezer, Hare who Omer, the Torah says, Isha yikimenu, Isha yifirenu. Any neder, her husband may approve it and her husband may cancel it. The Torah mentions approval and cancellation together in order to teach that Es Sheba L'Klal Hakim, only neder that is subject to approval, that neder that she already made, which the husband is able to approve, Ba'al L'Klal Hafer is subject to cancellation. Lo Ba'al L'Klal Hakim. But a neder that's not such a husband cannot approve, as we learned at the beginning of the Mishnah. Lo Ba'al L'Klal Hafer is not subject to cancellation. Mishnah Ches, and the last one for today. Hafaras Nedarim, that cancellation of Nedarim by a father or a husband, Kol Hayom, can be done throughout the day on which he hears about the neder until nightfall. Yesh B'Darva L'Hakel L'Hachmir. Because of this, the window of time he has to cancel the neder varies. Sometimes the matter is lenient. It's a relatively long time, and other times it is stringent. It's only a short time. Kate said, how so? Nadra B'Leili Shabbos. If she vowed in front of her father or husband on the night of Shabbos, meaning Friday night, Yafar B'Leili Shabbos, Yom Shabbos, Ajatechshav. He can cancel the neder on the night of Shabbos and on the day of Shabbos until nightfall when Shabbos ends. He has almost 24 hours to cancel the neder. Nadra in Chashecha. But if she vowed in front of him as night was falling at the end of Shabbos, Mefer Ajatechshav, he can cancel the neder only before nightfall, which leaves him a very, very short time to cancel it. For if night fell and he had not yet canceled it, he cannot cancel it anymore. That's all for today. We'll continue and finish the Masechta on Sunday. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Thanks for joining us.